Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Century Countess. This is Sunday, November 2nd. Today, for those of you who heard of it, was the Larping event. When we went there, I want to apologize. There are no pictures to share. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, there were no pictures to share for various reasons. One was I was active, so there was no time to pause and take a photo, and I didn't have a chance to ask anyone to take a photo. Secondly, the costume I wanted to wear, I didn't end up wearing, and the reason why is we fought. The weather forecast told us that we were going to expect rain. Oh gosh. So as I was saying, we thought it was going to rain. It rained on Halloween, which altered our plans. It did not rain yesterday, but then we heard news it was going to rain today. So I came up with a last-minute alternative twist to the character that I was going to play today, just to save face. So I was in the zone, but I was not fully in the zone because of that. And guess what? It did not rain. Typical Seattle lying weather forecast. So the forecast here you cannot trust, which is why people suggest bringing a umbrella with you 24/7. But for this case, we didn't need an umbrella. It did not rain. So I was devastated that I, ended up, making a decision without needing to make a decision costume-wise. However, I was so tired yesterday. I didn't go to sleep Halloween night until about almost 4 o'clock, I think. I didn't really get much sleep. So when I woke up, I was zonked out, and then I had to do laundry. I had to do other stuff. Let's just say there was so much I had to do that by the time I was done, I was just too exhausted to do anything else. So I needed to hem the skirt a little bit more, but I didn't get to it. So even if it didn't rain, the dress still would not have been appropriate to wear, because where we were going, it's grass and stuff, so when grass gets wet, it takes a while for it to dry. Plus, it was muddy. Very, 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 very muddy. And I do not know how, but there was times where I ended up having to play dead because I was stabbed, and before I was turned into a scarecrow zombie. Let's just say I was on the ground in the mud, but somehow the back half of me is completely clean, but the front side, somehow my pant leg got covered in mud while I was laying in the mud, but the front part was what got muddy. Interesting, you guys. So at the very end, we had an epic battle, and I will admit, I'm not very good with weaponry just yet. And the weapons were, they were safe. They were wrapped up in foam and stuff, so very, super protection. You're not going to get hurt or brutally bruised or anything. Let's just say I had a happy moment. Sorry, you guys, I had to pause that a moment. I'm cooking dinner. Okay, it's going to be a late dinner tonight. But anyway, as I was saying, it made me very happy near the very end. Not because epic battle, but let's just say two things. When you're sort of not very good and people sense you're not very good, so you're the one that ends up in the very back and you're the last one, and a group of very burly, bearish men in medieval armor, actual chainmail, actual armor, are coming at you, two things happen. You feel like that one scene in a zombie movie where the last survivor is about to get swarmed with zombies. And then let's just say, and I'm trying to make this in a PG rating. Let's just say it was very satisfying to have a whole bunch of men hit me with sponge swords. So that made my day. It was like that my day. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not very good at sword fighting, but I enjoyed it, and I got 2 levels up for my creativity part, because let's just say I convinced one of the witch characters to hand over a very important item and help us take care of another witch. So yeah, and then there was another, and I can't think of it right now because, like I said, everything's so jagged up because I'm tired. So when I'm tired, I'm struggling to remember. There was another fan that I did, and then the person that was like in charge of the whole storyline, I'm going to say that, I can't say for sure, but the person who's like, you know, the wizard, we're going to say they were the wizard in distress. They said, you know, people had approached them about my storytelling, about my creativity, and they were very impressed, so I got 2 stars. I forget what they're properly called, but I got 2 stars. So, that's something. And, let me see. So, yeah, people wanted to rehear the story that I was shared to convince the witch to cooperate with us. And, my worst nightmare has happened. I was just feeling around, and I thought, what is that? And then when I pulled it, I got 2 hairs. Great, I have hairy ears. I'm getting hairy ears. How lovely. Oh, God, I got one on this one. How lovely. Let's see, can I get it? I'm getting distracted. And this is probably awful for you guys to see, me pulling out 3 strands of hair that's growing like right here. Oh my God, that was... At least it's not a thick patch. I hope it's not. It never becomes a thick patch. I just hope it stays as 3 hairs. But anyway, as I was saying, I had a good time. I got bonus points. The next one won't be for a while, but there's another LARPing event that some of the participants that have been there for a while are connected to. We're probably going to go to that. That one is more let's hang out and dress up, which is more close to what I love to do, which is dress up in period historical costume and hang around. So that's what I would love to do next. So I hope we're able to do that. And then the next big epic adventure is sometime in December. So hopefully we can, you know, do that. But let's just say, like I said, the happiest moment was this bit where I got swarmed by men in armor. So I was just, that just made me so happy. But like I said, it also felt like that moment in a horror movie where the last survivor is like literally cornered and like a herd of zombies come at them. So it was a combo of that and the fact that it was all men in armor, you know what I mean? So anyway, that is basically the adventure. I'm sorry that this video was short, but I had to share it, and I apologize there was no pictures. Like I said, the moment it started, there was no time to take pictures. All I can tell you is that I wore my jester costume, my green jester costume, with a little bit of makeup. Not much, because I wasn't sure, you know, how things would go. So we are probably going to up another level next time. Hopefully with the costume we have in mind, and hopefully this time it does not rain. Really rain. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little mini vlog. Please have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.